Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp of the Limp, and I'm here with just a real quick addendum to the previous video that I put up on a most fearful sacrifice. One of the steps I had done got pointed out to me that I had done it wrong, and after going back over the rules, I think it's part on them and actually part on me. Yeah, I did miss this aspect of the rules, but I think there's an understandable reason why I did. All right, now what it has to do with is the fire combat step when you assign a attack order to one of your units and they're moving up. Infantry can't move and then shoot. They have to shoot first. All right, so these guys who came up along here and they conducted fire combat, which there's no need for me to go back because they can't shoot for shit anyway. They weren't allowed to do that. You have to be in position first. So basically you move your guys into position to fire and then you shoot them on the next time that they're activated, next turn, next whatever. All right. Now, after going and looking into the rules, that is actually noted down here. And we're into the fire combat step. We've got the order steps, attack, defend, maneuver, all the different ones that you can do. Now here it has it listed down as important note. My thing is I kind of don't read as many of these important notes as I should. The examples of play and all those things, I only really go back and check those if I'm not really sure about whatever the rule is that it's talking about. But here it says, be aware that fire combat is conducted before movement and assault combat. Also note that issuing fire combat does not prevent a infantry unit from moving in the movement step nor attacking in the assault combat step, assuming it is under an attack order, of course. So units must be positioned for firing one turn in advance. Now that right there shows, what I did wrong on it, but I don't believe this should have been in as an important note. I think it should have either been in here as the fire combat step, or more importantly, over here in the order step over with attack. Because when we're looking at the attack rule, it's this order may be used to close with the enemy and conduct combat. And it says all the things that a unit can do if it's given a fire order. But it doesn't say anything here about the fact that they have to be done basically in this order. You issue fire combat first and then move and do all this other stuff. For example, this important note simply talks about artillery being activated, that the Confederates will activate their artillery more often, but there'll be smaller groups of it. The Union will activate less often, but they'll have greater amounts or stronger amounts of artillery that's activating. So most of these notes, I was looking at them like, okay, well, they're kind of like historical notes or things like that. I didn't think they had as much to do with the rules. This one is very important to the rules. It changes everything because there's a huge difference between moving your units and then firing and then having to have them in place to fire beforehand. Now, I will give it, I should have caught that, and I do apologize for not catching that aspect. But I think in a revision of the rules, I would definitely take this out because I believe that your most important, like your must-be rules need to be regular type, all right? It needs to be the black words on the white background, not as a note, not as an addendum, not as an example of play. This piece here really needs to be stuck in there in the fire combat stuff. So when you're looking at it, you have to do it this way. Now, to be fair though, when we're looking at our activation phase sequence of play, it does show the steps here. And again, that's my fault for not looking at it as clearly because I was looking at it again going, okay, if I issue the order, the attack order, I can do these things. If I issue a defend order, I can do these things. Same thing with a maneuver order. If I issue that, I can do these things, and artillery is going to operate this way versus whatever if it gets one of those orders. So yeah, this definitely needed to be in there as you have to do it in a certain order. Really would have loved to have seen that like here to make it less likely to be missed. And you could even leave the note in but make sure you put in here something about infantry needs to shoot first, or add it into the attack order. Don't have it as an important note that can be missed. Now, I know it sounds bad when you say important note, but when a lot of these important notes like here, again, are just clarifying the amount of activation someone's going to get, you're not necessarily going to be thinking that an important, very important piece of the rules is going to be in there. But again, ultimately, that is on me. That's not on them per se, because I did miss that. I just would like to see the rules differently. If it is a important aspect of the rules, put that right in there into the regular set of the rules, and then in another place, make sure that something that important isn't just listed in one place. Now, it might be somewhere else in the rule book. I looked, I didn't see it, but there might be another important note in there that I missed, so hopefully not. But yeah, just FYI, make sure if you're doing an attack order with your infantry that they're only shooting if they've already been in that position. So these guys, where they are now, could get an attack order, shoot, then move and jump into assault if they wanted to. They could do all that cool stuff. But where they were, they would have not been able to do so. They would have only been able to maneuver up. But also when it comes to maneuver, you can only maneuver up to, like if I had given them a maneuver order, they could only get to one space away. They can't get adjacent and engage with them. As an example, what I'm talking about, units may do nothing else, including not being allowed to engage with the enemy. That is an important aspect of the maneuver order, and it's right here in the rules. Having to shoot first before you move is an important aspect, and it's not right here in the rules. But it is right here in the rules, and I feel so stupid now looking at it because it says important note, so obviously I should have looked at it, but I did not, so that is on me. And thank you, Jack, for catching that and bringing it to my attention so I could throw this up real quick. All right, you guys take care. I will be up with the next one here very soon.